Hi everybody, welcome back to Circle Time. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you had a great weekend. We had a long weekend this weekend. We had yesterday as a holiday, so we didn't have Circle Time yesterday. But we're here today and I'm so excited. Let's get started, okay? Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how are you? How are you this special day? I'm so glad you came today. Hello, hello, how are you? All right, I hope you guys are doing well. I still miss you guys so much, but hopefully I'll get to see you guys soon. Okay, let's do our counting, okay? Let's start with the number 1. Yesterday was the number 25. So I wonder what comes after 25. Let's count and see. Do you know already? All right, let's see if you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26. Good work. And let's do it in Spanish. Can you count that high in Spanish? I know you can. Count with me, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Good work. That is so many numbers, isn't it? All right, you guys. We have been working hard trying to learn all of our letters and their sounds, haven't we? We've been doing 1 letter or 2 letters every day. And we hopefully, I know, we're going to get through all of them, okay? But let's review our letter sounds. Can you guys sing the sounds with me? The A says A, the B says B, the C says K, and the D says D. The E says E, the F says F, the G says G, and the H says H. The I says I, the J says J, the K says K, and the L says OO, and the M says M. Good job, you guys. Well, we're going to do 2 more letters today. The first one is the letter N. The letter N. So we're going to put that right there. And we're going to look at what sound does the letter N make? The N makes the N sound. Can you guys do that? N. Put your tongue right there behind your front teeth and go N. N. Yeah. Okay. So here's some things that start with the N sound. So let's see. What is this pretty thing that goes around your neck? Around somebody's neck? A necklace. Necklace. Yeah. Ooh. What do you smell with? What do you use to smell? Your nose. Nose, yeah. How about, what do we call the things that we count? We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are numbers. Numbers, yeah. Ooh, this you use when you go fishing to pick the fish up out of the water after you catch it. Does anybody know what that's called? Net. Yeah, a net. Yeah. Has anybody ever used a net when they're fishing? Have you? Oh, what is this? You use this to maybe put some wood together. Nails. Yeah, to hammer something together. Or maybe you put one in the wall to hang something up. And the last one, did you see what it was? This is something that a bird builds as a home. What do you call a bird's little home? A nest. Yeah, a nest. So all those things start with a sound. The N says the N says Every letter makes a sound. The N says All right, let's work on writing the letter N, you guys. We're going to go straight. Ooh. Maybe we're not going to practice the N. My pen, even though it was closed, is not working, you guys. So we're going to just do our finger pencils, okay? We can, I'm going to bring this a little closer. Maybe if I put this on here, yeah, you can see the N better that way. So when you write the letter N, you're going to go down, then you're going to come back up to the top. You're going to go at an angle and then back up. Okay, so let's get our finger pencils out. We're going to go down. We're going to come back up to the top. We're going to go down at an angle and then straight back up. Okay, one more time. Come over here. You're going to go down, come back to the top, go down at an angle and straight back up. Good work, you guys. I want you to keep practicing writing your letter N's, okay? And remember that I'd love to see you practicing, okay? So take pictures and have Mom and Dad put them on the Facebook page, okay? I want to see you practicing. I want to see how well you guys are doing. So the next letter we're going to do is the letter, does anybody know what letter that is? The letter O. It's the letter O. Does anybody know what sound the letter O makes? You make your mouth like an O and you go, ah, ah, ah. The O says ah. The O says ah. Every letter makes a sound. The O says ah. Yeah. And I have, of course, some pictures of things that start with the letter sound O. The sound of the letter O. So this is another one of those tricky letters that also says its name. It says ah and it says O. Okay? So the first word that I have makes the O sound. This is a big body of water, and does anybody know what it's called? The ocean. Yeah, the ocean. Has anybody been to the ocean? I know, Abraham, you've been to the ocean, haven't you? You just were there. And I saw pictures or videos of you playing in the water. That was so fun. Has anybody else been to the ocean recently? Yeah? It's so fun going there. I want to go there. All right, here's something else that starts with an O. The orange. Yeah, orange. It starts with that O sound, doesn't it? Orange. Okay, here is something that Mom or Dad or a grown-up will use to cook food on. What do you cook your food on? Does anybody know what it's called? Or in. You'd cook it in the oven. Yeah, the oven. Yeah. Okay, here's one that's a shape. Do you guys know what shape this is called? It's the same shape as a stop sign. And it's called an octagon. Octagon. It has 8 sides on it. An octagon. Ooh, this is an animal that lives in the ocean, and it has 8 legs. Can you think of an animal that has 8 legs and lives in the ocean? And a lot of times it's orange. What is it? An octopus. Yeah. An octopus. Octopus. And the last picture I have, this is an animal that lives in the trees, and it comes out at night, and it makes a sound like this. Hoo, 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 hoo. What animal makes that sound? An owl. Yeah, an owl. Yeah. So the O says ah, the O says ah. Every letter makes a sound. The O says ah. All right, guys, and we're going to practice writing the letter O. It's so easy to write the letter O. We're just going to make a circle. Get your finger pencil out, and we're going to make a ooh circle. All right? Can you guys do that with me? Get your finger pencil out, and you're going to go make a circle. Ooh. Good job. All right. You guys keep practicing those letters. All right. Let's sing all of our letter sounds one more time. Ready? The A says A. The B says B. The C says K. And the D says D. The E says E. The F says F. The G says G. And the H says H. The I says I. The J says J. The K says K. And the L says ooh. The M says The N says n. The O says ah. And we're going to learn more tomorrow. All right, guys. And I have a book I want to read to you. This one is called Rick and Rack's Woodland Adventures. And it is written, that's the title. And it's written by Norman Wright with Gary Oliver, and the illustrations are by Sharon Dahl. So both Norman and Gary wrote the words to this book. Okay? Let's see what this story is all about. Rick and Rack look like they might be some raccoons. Yeah. Rick woke up to the sound of scratchy noises and thumps outside the den he shared with his brother. Poking Rack, he whispered, "Wake up! I'm scared." "What's there to be scared of?" asked Rick with a yawn. Just then, a dark shadow darkened their doorway. "That's what there is to be scared of," said Rick. He tried to hide behind his big brother. Thump, thump, thump. The old tree above the den shook as bark fell off the leaves as bark fell off. The leaves shivered and the roots quivered. Rick dug his sharp nails into Rack's fur. He is so scared. Have you ever been scared when there's a storm? It's been really windy the last few days. I bet some of you guys might have gotten scared with the wind, maybe. It happens. "Ouch," said Rack. "Calm down. Remember that song we learned at raccoon school?" he sang. "Fear can be a friend or fear can be a foe. That's something everyone needs to know." Under his breath, Rick mumbled, "Ho, ho, ho." He didn't see how fear could be a friend. He didn't like to feel scared. "Look," said Rack, peeking out of the den. "It's only Buford Bear. He's hitting our tree to drive the bees away from their hive." Look at that. Whoops, right there. He's just trying to get some honey. "Watch out," Rick said. "Those bees are mad and they could sting." "Right, brother. Being a little afraid of bees makes us more careful. That kind of fear is our friend." Just then Buford saw them. My, are you two coming out to help me get some honey?" "Oh, no," said Rick. "Bees sting. They can hurt. Aren't you afraid of them?" "Me afraid? I'm big and strong. Why should I be afraid?" "You mean you're never afraid, Buford?" asked Rack. "Nope, Never. Boo, said Rick, sneaking up from behind. Ha! Howled Buford. Rick laughed. See, I scared you. No, a bee stung me, replied the bear. Oh, maybe I should have been more careful. And with that, Buford mumbled away. I don't believe Buford Bear, said Rick. Isn't everybody afraid of something, Rack? What do you think? Is everybody afraid of something? I don't know. Yes, Rack said, but some, like Buford, don't want to admit that they're scared. Others are afraid too much. They're scared of things they don't really need to worry about. That's when fear is a foe, getting in our way and making us unhappy. Rack thought a minute. Rick, I'm gonna take you to meet somebody like that. She lives in the far side of the woods. Are you afraid to come with me? No, said Rick, but his voice was a funny squeak and it had a funny squeak in it. He had never been to the far side of the woods. Through the forest, the Raccoon brothers went. They squeezed under fallen trees, swam across the stream, climbed over trees, and scrabbled through hollowed-out logs. Finally, they came to the edge of the woods, but just as they stepped under the sunlight, a loud screech filled the air. Rick and Rack looked at each other, then raced back into the dark forest. What do you think that noise was? As soon as Rick found a hollow log, he jumped inside. Rick followed close behind. Safe inside, the little raccoon took a deep breath. Phew, he sputtered. That was an awful smell. Or what's that awful smell? Yuck, said Rick, holding his nose. I can't stand it. It doesn't bother me, said a new voice. Who's that? Asked Rick. Hey, boys, it's me, the new voice echoed in the darkness. Rick and Rack looked through the knothole in the log and saw two yellow eyes. Look at that. Who are you? Asked Rack, his voice trembling. The two eyes blinked. It's me, Boo! The startled raccoons jumped out of the log and ran into the maze of trees. They quickly lost each other, scrambling in opposite directions to get away from those scary eyes. Who do you think that was? What animal makes a big stink? You think it was a raccoon? I think it was a raccoon. Not a raccoon. These are raccoons. A skunk. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, a skunk. Thank you. Rick called Rack. Rack called Rick. Suddenly, Rick realized he was alone in the woods. Suddenly, Rack realized he was alone in the woods. Then Rack started to sing loudly. Fear can be a friend or fear can be a foe. It's something everyone needs to know. Rick heard the song faintly at first. Then he sang an answer as loud as he could. Fear can be a friend or fear can be a foe. As the brothers listened and sang, they found each other at last, right back at the log where they had started. They looked around for those scary yellow eyes. Suddenly, out of the log popped Smelly the skunk. Hi, guys. Boy, did I scare you. Ha 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 ha. Aw, we knew it was you all along, said Rack. Sure, said Smelly. Well, I'm going to go back to sleep. Drop in again sometime. Rack, you were just as scared as I was, weren't you? Yes, but that kind of fear isn't good. If we had stopped and looked, we would have seen that it was only Smelly. Well, when we ran from the screech before at the edge of the woods, was that an all right kind of fear? Asked Rick. I think so. It was an eagle, and they like to eat raccoons like us. So our fear helped us look for safety. And now, little brother, let's get back to the edge of the woods. I still want you to meet somebody. Back through the woods they went. Finally, in a towering tree, they found a jittery-looking creature who never stopped moving. Excuse me, Swirly Squirrel. Oh, you surprised me. What is it? I'm busy, you know. I'm always busy. We have a question. Are you afraid? Me? Afraid? I'm always afraid. You know what I'm afraid of? I'll tell you. I'm afraid of the other animals not looking at me. What if they laugh at me? What if they chase me? What if, oh, me, I'm afraid of new things, loud things, strange things. I'm so afraid of fear. I don't know what to do. That's why I run around in circles and up and down, you know? Oh dear, I live my life full of fear. Uh-oh. Rick and Rack looked at each other and crept away while Cheryl was still talking. She lives with all those fears. That's not fun, Rick said. Right, those aren't friendly fears. She doesn't have any real reason to be afraid all the time. Many of her fears are in her own imagination. If she would stop and think or ask questions, she wouldn't be afraid. But some fears are good, right? Uh-huh. If there's danger and you feel scared, that's good, because it keeps you from getting hurt. But when fear is your friend, that's when fear is your friend. Just then, Rick heard a loud growl, and he jumped. But when he held himself very still and listened, when he heard the growl again, he laughed. It was his stomach telling him it was time to go home for supper. The Raccoon brothers made their way to the forest again. After a big supper of water, snails, crawfish, and mushrooms, Rick lay down for a long day's rest. Suddenly he woke to the sound of loud scratching back and forth right by the doorway of the den. Oh no, he thought, maybe something is trying to get through our door. Or maybe a human is sawing down our tree. Rick's heart started to beat faster. His paws got sweaty. His eyes grew bigger. His tummy turned over. And he started to think, what if... He suddenly slapped his paw loudly on the ground and told himself, stop it! He made such a noise that Rack woke up sputtering. What's that? What happened? Rick took a deep breath and bravely walked to the door. Fear can be a friend or fear can be a foe. It's something I'm finally starting to know. He sang the little song quietly to himself as he walked. He felt less afraid. His heart didn't beat as fast as his tummy felt calmer. He poked his head out the door. What did he see? Elwood Elk, shining his anchors on the side of the tree. Elwood stopped when he saw Rick and said, "Oh, please excuse me." He turned away, looking very proper and proud. Rick smiled, sighed, and settled back inside his den. He told his brother, "Go back to sleep, Rack. It's nothing to be scared of. I found out what the noise was and took care of it. Isn't it great that we don't have to be afraid of every little thing?" And with that, he snuggled down and fell into a deep sleep. All right, that was a good story. And this has been a long circle time, hasn't it? Well, it's time to go, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. All right, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.